You are listening to part of the chapter 7 of the book A Cross-Cultural Redefinition of Rational Emotive and Cognitive Behavior Therapy by Dr. Murat Artiran. Chapter 7 Unconditional Acceptance and Sufism. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Rumi. What is Sufism? It's not a glossy show of dancers with strange hats that can be seen in the posters advertising the Mevlana in Konya, Turkey. It is truly hoped in this chapter to attempt to summarize more than a passing understanding of Sufism and how it can be used in therapy through it bows to the wisdom of the truly great masters and explains its relevance to the unconditional self-acceptance, unconditional others acceptance, unconditional life acceptance. Psychology has endeavored to become a science, but there is also an undoubted spirituality in clinical practice. Life is sometimes complex, chaotic, and stressful for most of us. Many people look for peace and happiness in their lives. Through which source can we reach inner peace? Does the answer lie within religions, diets, fads, or ways of self-actualization? It can be assumed that psychotherapy is a scientific way to provide peace, meaning, and happiness in life. Rational emotive cognitive behavior therapy may have some answers that can be beneficial to different people worldwide as a means to psychological well-being. One of the rational emotive behavior therapy's important contributions to psychotherapy is conceptualization, the notions of the rational beliefs of unconditional self-acceptance, unconditional other acceptance, and unconditional life acceptance. Since unconditional acceptance is hard to conceive, Ellis's contribution better be developed further in order to help clients and support mental health workers cross-culturally speaking. The core of Sufism contains concepts very similar to unconditional self-acceptance, other acceptance, and life acceptance, which have their roots in old scriptures, sacred texts, and ancient philosophical and spiritual ideas. Self-acceptance takes extensive work and considerable dedication. Confronting how you live and the things you can accomplish is an intrinsic part of learning how to love and treat yourself well. Even accepting our shortcomings, mistakes, failures, and weaknesses, and doing nothing to improve them is not the right kind of self-acceptance. The Sufi path is a way of seeking truths concerning the nature of one's relationship with being. Rumi has 7 suggestions. The 7 suggestions characterize the highest inclinations of humanity, transcend religious boundaries, and constitute the common ideals of all religions. Here are 7 suggestions. 1. In helping others, be like the river. 2. In sympathy and grace, be like the sun. 3. On circumspection, be like the light. 4. In hatred and anger, be like the dead. 5th. In simplicity, be like the soil. 6. In endurance, be like the ocean. 7. Appear as you are, or be as you appear. Rumi instructs us that our kindness and aid to others should be similar to a flowing river. Rumi, like Jesus, teaches that we have to forgive others' wrongdoings. Anger and hatred arise from not accepting others and their apparent wrongdoings. Love. Please remember three things that have been mentioned in the previous chapters. First, love is one of the ultimate goals of the therapy. Second, psychotherapy involves not only scientific knowledge, but also art and experience. And third, Alice's unconditional acceptance is better redefined as unconditional love of self, love of others, and love of life for Middle Easterners. Love, a central tenet of Sufism, is fundamental to bring commitment and fervor to inspire, whether it is for a loved one or whether one seeks. Rumi expresses the significance of love beautifully. Love makes the bitter sweet. Love turns pain into healing. Rumi understands love as a universal message. Sufism regards love, faith, experience, and knowledge as central concepts in resolving our existential dilemma to ultimately understand and experience the divinity in oneself, or the union of self with the Supreme through a process of progressive lifting of veils which hide through beauty and knowledge. This love is unconditional and without regard for any personal gains in wealth, fame, or power. A Sufi's principal goal is to experience the divine within and be united with the life's essence. Rumi regarded love as the creative force in nature, and thus love is the basis for all creation and creativity. Rational emotive cognitive behavior therapy set down practices that encourage influence over the psyche and feelings through augmented concentration, attention, and scrutiny of the contemplation forms. All of this leads to an inner calm. From Sufism to the West. There are, of course, clear and evident contrasts purposefully connecting Sufism to the Western psychology. Inner peace. Cognitions underlie feelings and behavior which are under our voluntary control and can be changed. It is claimed that Islam is a powerful instrument for cognitive realignment. So what may work for Muslim clients is culturally defined rational emotive cognitive behavior therapy. It also works for other faiths such as Christianity. Muslims adhere to religious schema above all other competing schema, familial, traditional, and cultural. This is not a long way from Alice's prescription. Contemplation and the remembrance of Allah are allegedly the key to inner peace and well-being in Islam. There is a highly detailed Islamic belief schematic system. Islamic teaching and practice embody potent cognitive and behavioral prescriptions that may decrease psychological arousals such as anxiety and enhance emotional functioning such as mood management. Islamic psychology uses rational emotive cognitive behavior therapy, offering a key to unlock, access, modify schema for advanced well-being outcomes.